Subscribe to Arnav to get all latest Indian cricket updates. Click the notification bell to get notifications for all the new videos.
So hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have two very famous cricket podcasters, Chirunandhan Srinath and Charbel Coorey. One is from the CricBlog Podcast and the other is from the Atom Bigg Cricket Podcast. I'm a huge fan of both the podcasts. I really enjoy watching you guys and hearing you guys. It's a pleasure to be talking with you both today. And today we are going to talk about first of all, as you both are podcasters and I don't know anything about how to start a podcast, so I would like to ask you both on your respective ways. How do you prepare before a podcast? How did you start a podcast, especially on Spotify, because Spotify, iTunes? Because I myself, 1 year back, when I started my YouTube channel, I thought of starting a podcast, but I didn't know how to do that. So I thought, let's go with the easy way of starting a YouTube channel. So please tell me, how do you start a podcast? How do you prepare for it? What are the key elements, like a partner and everything? So let's start with Charbel first. So Charbel, can you tell me the key elements of starting a podcast and how do you do that?
No worries, Arnav. Starting a podcast is really easy. You just need a Zoom call like we are now, camera and a microphone. And you find yourself a partner. It could be a friend, could be a fellow cricket colleague, someone who shares the same passion as you, and you start talking naturally about cricket. And then to upload, you create an audio file that you upload as an RSS file. That's what it's called. And you link up your Spotify accounts, your Apple accounts, and your Google accounts and all that sort of stuff. And it uploads automatically to those. In terms of preparing for a podcast episode, you keep in touch with cricket throughout the week. And you keep a really nice, solid schedule or a solid agenda of what you want to discuss in that show, and put your little spin on things and put your opinion on things as well. So when you love cricket so much and you follow it so much, it's all very natural. So, we've been doing the CricBlog podcast now for about 3.5 months. It's starting to gain some good traction. So it just comes from passion and just connecting with people who have the same passion as you.
Chiru, what's your method of doing it, and can you share with our audience?
Yeah, firstly, podcast is a great thing. I mean, because compared to YouTube channels and all those things, podcast has a lot of benefits, a lot of advantages, because you can listen it anywhere, driving, and podcast is done a lot of to the audience around the globe. And talking about cricket podcasts, we started this podcast 8 months before, and when we started this, we didn't know anything about a cricket podcast. I mean, we never knew what a podcast was. So we just started. We never cared about numbers. We still never care about numbers. We are just wanting to get that first year anniversary, and then we start caring about numbers. So don't keep the numbers in mind. You're just gonna do it consistently, follow cricket crazily, and cover cricket. And if you're an enthusiast of cricket, and you will do it naturally, you will do it very naturally, and you can do things a lot of. Maybe if you're an Indian cricket fan, you'll cover Indian cricket, or if you're a global cricket fan, you'll cover globally. But as of now, we cover Indian cricket very in-depth coverage, and we also concentrate on women's cricket as well as the global cricket as well. So we're doing a great job. We're not worried about the numbers. I know it will get better whatever we do in the future. So don't care about numbers. That's what my advice.
Okay, so thanks for sharing your experiences, Charbel and Chirunandhan. So now we are going to discuss about some global cricket which is going on. Today only itself in the morning, which I didn't watch half of the match because it was 5 a.m. for me. So West Indies versus Australia was going on. 2 T20Is are done. Australia have sort of first T20 was they won the game and then they just slipped it out of their hands. So it's something like it's not suiting to Australia's style of play. Like, it's not that I have not seen Australia slipping out matches which they have already won, sort of like when you're 108 for 3 or 4, and you need to chase 145 on 97% of the days you'll do that. But Australia are not used to do that. Like, I have not seen Australia do that in number of years. So this is a good preparation for them, but they need to learn from it. And my question to you both over here is that what's what are the spots which Australia are lacking in their teams, and what do they need to do better ahead of the World T20? Also the West Indies.
Where do I start? To be honest, I'm an Australia fan, and I've been disappointed with the two performances so far. I think we've had a problem in T20 cricket for a long time where we don't know our combinations, and that's been the case here. We don't respond well to pressure. Sometimes we put ourselves under too much pressure. We see a collapse, like the first match. We collapsed against England last year in similar fashion. I just think our middle order has been an area of concern for Australia for a very long time. You know, you look at it, the good T20 teams are solid, not only in the top order, but also in their finishing. You know, once we lose a wicket or two, we lose quick wickets after that. I think also our death bowling is a serious concern. The form of Mitchell Starc is worrying. You know, he hasn't taken a wicket yet in the first 2 games, and he's gone for a lot of runs. And if Australia are going to do well, they need Mitchell Starc firing, and he's not at the moment, which is a worry. So I think those 2 key areas, you look at in this series, the first 10 overs of the matches, Australia have been dominant, but then in the second 10 overs, it's been terrible. So there's a lot of work to do ahead of the World Cup. And to be honest, as an Australian fan, I'm not confident about our chances in this format, to be honest, especially when you consider not all of our top players might be available. So we just have to wait and see.
Chiru, what are your views on this? I know you won't be able to talk a lot about this because you yourself, I don't think you would have watched the game fully. So.
Yeah, honestly, I do not watch Australian cricket with that much interest. I love England cricket. I love Indian cricket. But the reason being is we cover a lot of Indian cricket and we concentrate mostly on that. So the reason being not covering Australian cricket is maybe not because of interest, but time consuming, I would say. But Australian cricket, I love to watch test matches. I love to watch one-day internationals. I never bother about the T20s. So I don't think I'll give you the best answer for this.
That's the attitude Australia has had for a long time. Test cricket, we'll focus on ODI cricket as well, but T20 cricket's never been a priority for us, and it's really showing now. So, you know, if we want to win the T20 World Cup in the next, year or 2 years, then we're going to have to get a lot better.
Okay, so now let's bring our focus back to Indian cricket for some time. So now the COVID, I don't know why it's irritating so much because India versus Sri Lanka was supposed to start in 2 days, but now it's supposed to start in in a week. Because it has been postponed due to the COVID-19, COVID-20 or 21 pandemic, I would rather say, because most of its impact have been in these 2 years. So what's it that if there is a biosecure bubble, then why is COVID entering the team's camp? In England also, when the reports, due to reports, what the reports say, Morgan, Bairstow and Willie tested positive. So why is that happening even if there's a biosecure bubble? And now I think that virus only shifted into the Sri Lanka camp, due to which Grant Flower and their video consulting editor tested positive, due to which now the series is postponed for 5 days. Like, it will start on 18th, which originally it was due to start on 13th. So I would like to ask you, like, why is COVID entering the camp of the team camp, even if there's a biosecure bubble?
So if I was a person who could check it there, I would have tell the perfect answer. But maybe there are some breaches. We have seen Sri Lanka breaching the bubble a few days back. Not sure why it's happening, because we are not the people who are there and watching the game. We are not even physically present in the stadium. So we do not know what's happening. Maybe there are some flaws in this bio bubbles, maybe some things that could be avoided, maybe food from outside, or we do not know how a bio bubble life is unless and until we enter the bio bubble and play ourselves. So we do not know what a bio bubble is perfectly. Wouldn't say that bio bubbles are not helping international cricket or cricket in general, because a lot of leagues and international matches have taken carefully and successfully been done in 1 year or two. So wouldn't blame the players as well, because players, they get stressed, and there is a lot of stressfulness because you can't be alone. Myself personally, I can't stay alone in this room and record podcast from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's not possible. So maybe can't blame the players, can't blame the team management, can't blame anyone. But if you ask me the reason, totally blanked out. I do not know.
Charbel, what do you say on this?
Yeah, Churu makes some really good points around, outside influences like food from outside, or when the players are sort of, being transported from the ground to the hotel and things like that. You don't know the drive. I know sometimes, the bus driver's part of the bubble, but you don't know who they come in contact with in the hotels and things like that. So it's got to be really, really strict. And, sometimes you get COVID coming in, it's contagious, it spreads, and sometimes you can't have 100% control. That's just how it is. And like Drew said, without being in the bubble, you don't exactly know what goes on 100% of the time. So yeah, it is what it is. That's the environment we're in now. Most of the time it's pretty good. We get to see, the leagues go ahead mostly well, and the international matches. But yeah, I think you've got to have really strict protocols and backup plans in place in case there's a breakout.
Okay, so now like we have talked about COVID and all. So India, this is sort of you can say a dress rehearsal sort of for the T20 World Cup. Most of the places are set for India and they're playing 11. They just need to sort of a few things like who is going to be there. Like I think Sky will be there, but who is that person who is between Sky and Rishabh Pant at 4 if Kohli and Rohit open? So that's the main area of concern I feel for India, because is it going to be Sanju Samson or is it going to be Ishan Kishan? That's the main question. So I think we are going to get a clear idea of it after this series. But I want to ask you both, how is India's T20 playing 11 looking like in the World Cup? And who do you prefer over which person, like Shreyas Iyer or Sky, or like somebody like Samson or Ishan Kishan?
Churu, do you want to go first? This is your area.
Yeah, fine. So Shikhar Dhawan, I would like him to open, because we see him right through the IPL 2020 and the 2021. Yes, he was dropped from the England series, T20 series, but he came back in the one-day internationals. So I would prefer Shikhar Dhawan, opening with him, obviously the Rohit Sharma, the hitman. And then at 3, Virat. At 4, I would take in Surya Kumar Yadav, because he's been an excellent, consistent batsman over the years in the IPL for Mumbai Indians, and also has showed a really good form when he played England in the T20 International Series. So Surya Kumar Yadav at 4. At 5, I would play Rishabh Pant for sure, because he's a wicketkeeper batsman, the priority for India. At 6, I would look at 2. At 6 and at 7, I would look at 2 all-rounders, Hardik Pandya and Ravindra Jadeja. Ravindra Jadeja will give a spin factor, while Hardik Pandya, if it's fit enough, maybe he could bowl a few overs and play that bowling all-rounder, batting all-rounder is a really good factor in the World T20 Cup if he is fit enough. For the bowlers, I'm really taunting. I mean, I do not know the right combination for the bowlers because there are a lot of them. Because Shardul Thakur is a death over specialist, but in the IPL, he hasn't performed well. And then if you look at spinners, you have a lot of options. You have Kuldeep Yadav, you have Yuzvendra Chahal,
Rahul
and
Chahal.
Rahul Chahar, Varun Chakravarti. So we do not know who will come into the World T20 squad because this series will tell you which combinations are India going to pick up. So we do not know whether Kuldeep Yadav is going to come. Yuzvendra Chahal is bad form continues, so we need to look at this Sri Lanka series. And Varun Chakravarti is not fit, so he's not playing. So if he's fit enough, he can play in this Sri Lanka. Maybe he can get a call up. But I would look at Kuldeep Yadav to come into the T20s. Personally, that's what I think, and I think India should give him chances. Kuldeep Yadav, then Rahul Chahar as my two spinners, and then Bhuvneshwar Kumar just with Bumrah, and you have a lot of bowlers. So I'm not picking up the bowlers. There are a lot of options, but I think the batting and the middle order is sorted out. I'm not
Over
going
here,
to
I have a question. Do you think Ashwin will make it?
I don't think so because Virat has already in a press conference told that if Washington Sundar has a bad season, and then only Ashwin can come back.
But
So Ashwin
far
is a brilliant white ball bowler.
Yeah, but Ashwin, Sundar hasn't been having a great season so far. Like in the IPL 2021, he was the power play specialist of RCB in IPL 2020. But he bowled 1 or 2 overs in the whole first half of the IPL. So in the power play.
Yeah, I think it's Virat's mistake. I don't think we should blame Washington Sundar for that because Virat Kohli didn't give him bowling in the power play because he had a lot of options. He had Christian, he had a lot of bowlers. Harshal Patel was at its peak. So he had a lot of bowling options, and in each match he used to go with 7 bowling options. So obviously Washington Sundar is going to miss out on that. So wouldn't say Washington Sundar couldn't make it to the squad and Ravichandran Ashwin coming out from nowhere because this is the last series before the World T20 for India. So I don't think Ashwin coming in anywhere. And I'm really doubting if Washington Sundar can really make into the squad itself. But
I think he'll be in the squad. Making it into the playing 11 might be doubtful, but I think he'll be there in the squad.
Yeah, that's your viewpoint. Then you have Deepak Chahar. So we do not know whether he is going to make it to the squad. So there are a lot of options for bowling as well as batting, but I think batting will be sorted out because you have star batsmen and you can't replace them simply. So the bowling looks a bit.
Charbel, I know that you might not be that much sure about this, but still, can you give a small overlay of like what your playing 11 would look like?
No, I've been following Indian cricket for a while now, and I'm very impressed with the depth of quality that India have in their squad, and figuring out, as Churu was saying, who goes where, especially with the bowlers. I'd like to see KL Rahul hit his best form because I think he's got a great record in T20 cricket, and I think if he can back himself more, and if the team backs him to take a few more chances, especially in the power play overs, and get India off to a good start, then I think he and Rohit can have a wonderful partnership at the top. But it just ultimately depends on who's in better form when that time comes around. Like with the series against Sri Lanka and then the IPL and things like that, you'll get more of an idea of who's firing, because Shikhar Dhawan has been superb since last year's IPL, especially. He's really transformed his T20 game. So I think it'll be between those two to partner Rohit. And I Virat at 3. I know he's good at opener as well, but I think if you don't play Shikhar or KL Rahul, I think you're wasting a bit of talent there. It's a good opportunity to play one of those two at the top. I have Suryakumar Yadav at 4 because he's very good at scoring in the middle overs, and that's going to be important. Rishabh Pant at 5, Hardik at 6, Ravindra Jadeja at 7. And then it depends on conditions in the UAE where you want to play. If you want to play 2 leg spinners, you can go for that. Maybe Chahal and someone like Rahul Chahar, because Kuldeep Yadav, it depends on his confidence. He's been really down on confidence lately. So we just have to see what kind of form he's in. And then Bumrah, and then if you want to go with Bhuvneshwar there as well. But then you've also got the option of playing another seamer if you want, if Hardik Pandya is not bowling. So there's a lot of options there for India, but I think, it's about picking the right balanced team to make sure that they've got at least 5 or 6 bowling options and ensuring that they're scoring well in the middle overs as well with the bat.
Okay, that's also what my team looks like. I would want to open with Virat and Rohit, so Sky comes at 3. I would rather play Rahul at 4. So Rahul at 4, and then I have Pant. Then 6, I have like everyone, Hardik, Jadeja, and then though at 8, I would want Ashwin. I really want Ashwin to make it into the team. I want him to have a stellar IPL and then get it into the team because, first of all, he has loads of experience. And then he's a clever bowler. He'll get you a wicket out of nowhere. So I would want Ashwin at 8. And then my lead spinner, you could say, Ashwin is sort of a lead spinner, but my leg spinner would be Rahul Chahar over UZ right now. As per current form right now, I don't know what would happen in the IPL. And then my 2 pacers would be Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Jasprit Bumrah.
That's a good team. Ashwin's a good shout as well.
By the way, my team keeps changing every 2 days because 2 days back I had Shardul Thakur in my team and 2 days after that I don't have him. So now, let's talk about a really weird sort of a thing. Yesterday, it was a game between Bangladesh and Zimbabwe, where Brendan Taylor scored 92 runs in a partnership of 95 runs. And it was a time where Brendan Taylor had faced 60 balls and he had 80 runs, and his partner had faced 60 balls and his partner had 1 run. So that was really weird. It was like one of the weirdest partnerships I have ever seen. One partner is just blocking, and the other partner is in full-on beast mode. So that was something really weird. So I have not seen it. Any of you have seen that sort of a partnership ever before?
I haven't seen it before. I was watching it yesterday and I thought Brendan Taylor's innings was so good to watch. Zimbabwe need 477 to win and they can't do it anymore, obviously. But if he was there for a little bit longer today, then anything is possible. That's how good he was playing. That's how well he was playing. He barely took a risk in the innings. It was all beautiful cricket shots. A lot of them along the ground, back foot drives down the ground, beautiful cover drives, reverse sweeps, all this sort of stuff. His partner, Keitano, I call him the Zimbabwean Pujara. He digs in. He faced 400 odd balls on his debut. So, having someone like that in your team can enable the others to play with freedom. We've seen that with Pujara here in Australia. But yeah, it was interesting. I've never seen a partnership like that, especially between 2 top order players. You see that sort of stuff when you've got one middle order player trying to bat and shield the tail. Or even when someone's trying to shield the tail, like Ben Stokes and Jack Leach in the Ashes, something like that, where the guy's 1 not out off 20, 30 balls. But I've never seen anything like that yesterday. It was really strange.
So now I think we should wrap it up. We have talked about the recent cricket that is going on. How is COVID affecting cricket? Bangladesh versus Zimbabwe, West Indies versus Australia, the World T20. I wanted to talk a bit about England and Pakistan. England with their C team, sort of, only one highly capped player, Ben Stokes. Pakistan with their full strength team lose the first 2 ODIs, I feel, really convincingly. So I don't know what's wrong with them. Someday they can defeat the best of the teams and someday they can lose to the worst of the teams.
That's what I was going to say. Aren't you going to mention Pakistan as an India fan? I thought you'd be very happy with that, with what's happening there. That's just typical Pakistan though, isn't it? One day they're amazing, the other day they're very poor. And in this series, they've been very poor. They should be beating this England team. big credit to this England team. There's a lot of talent in there. Saqib Mahmood and these guys have been playing brilliantly. I think Saqib Mahmood deserves to be in the England first team, to be honest. But just goes to show Pakistan there's got not enough consistency in their game.
This also shows that how much depth England has in their
of course. Yeah. There's a lot of depth in that team. There's a lot of depth in that squad, and it's a real credit to them. That's even when you leave someone like Alex Hales. They don't want to pick him, but they've still got a lot of players who can come in and do a great job for the team. So credit to England, But for Pakistan, they've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. So, Chiru, what do you say on this?
I follow in England cricket really very well after Indian cricket. So these are my two favorite teams personally that I watch. I watched the match till 11 o'clock p.m. and the match was about to end at 11:30. I slept off. So today morning I see the result. England have won the first two one-day internationals. I'm really surprised to see England to win that. I mean, because they're a dominant white ball team. I mean, if you see India, they're a dominant Indian team in the test team. I mean, the red ball cricket as well as the white ball. But I think England is superior to any team when it comes to white ball cricket at the present moment, because India have defeated Australia with their B team. Now, I don't know what do you grade England's team, B or C? I'm not sure. I'm not the grader to grade it. But these two teams are something special. They have something special, and I'm sure even Australia has it. But I'm not criticizing any team at the moment. But Pakistan, I don't know. As you said, they're good at one day, they're bad at the other day. So we do not know what happened. And the same thing happens to Sri Lankan cricket. For Sri Lankan cricket, it's not a matter of days; it's a matter of years. Once upon a time, they were
The best
a dominant team, and now they're okay. Let's not go back to Sri Lanka. Let's come to Pakistan. So Pakistan, as you said, we do not know what happens that day. So
what
wouldn't
happens
comment
to
on
them
Pakistan. I
is
think.
they want Babar Azam to score runs every day. Day Babar Azam doesn't score runs, they are just gone. They're
Yeah,
lost.
they're fully dependent on him.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. So this is today. This is just like, I don't know what would you say for Pakistan. And this is it for today's show, guys. I really hope you liked this one. I really enjoyed talking to both Charbel and Chiru. So see you in the next one. We are going to have a lot of special guests coming up. India versus Sri Lanka is going to start in a week. Originally in 2 days, but now in a week. So see you in the next one, guys. Goodbye and